from appearing to us in the personage of Master W. Farad Muhammad, the long-awaited Messiah of the Christians and the Mahdi of the Muslims. We thank him for leaving paradise and coming to a place, that's in Mecca, coming to a place called Black Bottom, Detroit. Now, it got its name, Black Bottom, not because of the black inhabitants who were there, but there was a river at one time that ran through Black Bottom, Detroit, called the Savard River. But the French dried it up in the late 18th, somewhere around 1827, they dried it up. But it left a rich black sediment. However, in contrast, there was another rich black sediment that had settled there after they built it up and turned it into a sewer system. There was the black man and black woman. Our family, we were there because of the great migration running from the south to the north, running from our slave captors under Jim Crow and all those other crooked laws. We thought that we would come to the industrial north and find a better life. Oh, did we but find out it was just the same. So we had God come for us, and he worked on us for 3 years and 4 months in that place. Black Bottom was so bad, the crime rate was off the chain. Murder was, it's like going to get a sandwich. That's how murder was. I'm not going to go deep into that, but this is give you the background of why it was called Black Bottom. And our people were at the bottom, and we were black. And the thing of it is, God came to raise us up, and we thank him for coming in the personage of Master W. Farad Muhammad. And in that meeting, he was teaching so hard that people would line up outside the door. Well, there was one man that showed up. He had got word of this teacher teaching, and he wanted to see what it was all about. As a matter of fact, his wife, Mother Clara, showed up first. She came home and told him, go down there and check out this man. He's teaching something. He's into it, I'm not going to go into all of it verbatim, but just give you the overview. Yes. And he listened to his wife, so he said, you know what, I'm going to go down. He went down, and he said he recognized him on first sight. Why did he recognize him on first sight? Because as a little boy in the South, his father and both grandfather were both Baptist preachers. And on that, they would teach the Bible, but he knew that something was missing. But when he heard Master Farad Muhammad teaching, the dots were connected. He said, that's the one. And at the end of the meeting, like we have at the end of the meeting today, we had what's called acceptance. Well, it was because of that meeting back then in the 1930s that this meeting is going on today. So when the procession had lined up and everyone walked up to shake the master teacher's hand, when this man got to him, he shook his hand and he looked him in the eye sternly and he said, I know who you are. And then the master teacher pulled him close and kind of whispered in his ear, yeah, but who know it but you? And kind of pushed him on. But it didn't stop there, because that exchange, that interaction is the reason that you and I are here today. So we thank that Georgia-born giant who recognized the God in person on first sight. He was born Elijah Poole, but because of the wonderful and magnificent work that he was and is doing to us today, he became known as the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah for that wonderful, wonderful human being. However, let's go back to the book that most of us was raised up on. Let's go to the King James Version of the Bible. In the Bible, it says that confession is good for the soul. Brother Joseph going to confess. I did not meet Master Farad Muhammad. I did not meet the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Matter of fact, I ain't meet none of the prophets in the Bible or the Holy Quran. But the man who's present today, he's acquainted me with every one of them and showed them how I'm connected to each one of them. And the man that I talk about here is our illustrious leader, teacher, guide, confidant, friend, the most famous Muslim on the planet, our champion, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. It is in their names I greet you all once again with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Happy Savior's Day. All praise is due to Allah. It's wonderful to be alive in Allah's universe. Because whatever I didn't get a chance to do yesterday, or what we didn't get a chance to do yesterday, he gave us another chance today to make the correction. Isn't that beautiful? Ain't nothing like having a pencil and it's got an eraser on it, right? You can erase all that stuff that you messed up and you can make the adjustment. Well, that's what we're doing today. Allah is our eraser, and we're going to want to try to make an adjustment in our lives and to those who we come in contact with that we can share this wonderful teaching with. So we thank you all for being here on time. Thank you for submitting to the check procedure. Very necessary. Know of a surety, if this is your first time, second time out, you're safe. You don't have to worry about that. We already covered the bases. We've removed all the articles that don't belong in the house. We've even checked the spirits. So I know I feel safe standing up here, because if you're sitting in a chair right now, your spirit and everything else was checked. So that means you had the right spirit to be here today to hear the truth of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is given to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So let me go on very quickly, because we have a wonderful lineup today. Oh, it's a treat. You're going to enjoy it. You're really going to enjoy it. I'm going to hurry up and get out of the way so y'all can, get to it. But before I go there, Final Call newspaper. I can say it's the baddest, the boldest, the most powerful paper on the planet. No other paper can hold a candlelight to this paper right here. Why? Because it has unadulterated truth in it. It hasn't been tampered with or diluted in any way. It has local, national, and international news. All you have to do is but take one home with you, open it up, and start with the keys to unlock. Every lock has a key or a combination, right? Well, the key or combination to this paper is, I implore us, start on page 19. Go immediately to page 20. Page 19 is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Page 20 is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. 2 pages over is our brother, may Allah be pleased, Jabril Muhammad. And then Mother Tanetta Muhammad is right across from there. Read through those, then go back and read the stories that we have compiled in here, and they all make sense. As a matter of fact, if you look at this, occupation and genocide or big business. Have you heard anything about that on CNN, C-SPAN, any of the news networks? Any of them talk about it like that? No, they create hysteria, but they don't clear it up. And then people are walking around nervous and edgy. Oh, they cutting Social Security. They cutting off Medicaid. They cutting off Medicare. They cutting everything. Well, we've been cut for a long time. Matter of fact, we the bleedingest people on the planet in our psyche and in our spirits. They've been cutting us for the last 470 years. So for all those that are out there, we're not gloating. We just say, welcome to the club. That's right. You get to see what black folks have been going through. See what we've been going through since we've been here. But there's an answer to it. We don't want to worry, and I'm going to say this very quickly. Our dear sister, Student Minister Ava Muhammad, may Allah forever be pleased with her. She had did, it was an e-book and a lecture. It was a kind of Muslim worry. Stop tormenting yourself. That's what she said. Yeah, beautiful piece. You can pull it up. I mean, you can take my word for it. But I lifted some of what she said about worry in the time that we've entered. And she talks about something called a worry wart. You ever heard that term? Yes. A worry wart. This is what she said. She said a worry wart. We constantly worrying about things that are going on around us. Some of them are real. Some are imagined. But nevertheless, it's causing us, distracting us from going to our real goal. And in it, she says, if we were to envision our success and our performance would be excellent. But we don't focus on our success. We're focusing on all the distractions that this world has to prevent. Everybody on TikTok, everybody on YouTube, these little short clips. I mean, some of the stuff is interesting, but it's not building our spirits and our character. Right. It's taking us away from what we should be doing. When's the last time you picked up the Quran? Don't raise your hand. It's okay. I got you. When's the last time you picked up the Bible and just really read through it, parsed it apart? Don't raise your hand. I got you. I understand. But put down the TikTok and the social media stuff, X and Twitter or whatever you want to call it, all that. Just put it down and pick up some of God's words or some of the lectures of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And watch and see that whatever you're going through, you start to see yourself calm down. You don't worry about it as bad. Yep. But then check this, she goes on to say, we are our own worst enemy because we appear to have not benefited from the prophets and messengers that have been among us, because we don't appear to undergo a change in our condition. And then the Quran teaches us that Allah never changes the condition of a people until they first make a change in themselves. So if you went out this past Friday, we have self-improvement, the basis for community development. That's a start. And we have a formula there that you don't have to pay, you don't have to have insurance to get it. It's a prescription. It's called self-examination, self-analysis, self-correction. Woo, that's powerful right there. Just them three. And it leads us to our own self-accusing spirit. Self-accusing spirit means that when I can take the mirror and look at my own self and see my defects and not look at yours, I'm on the way to being elevated into oneness with Almighty God Allah. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Yes. I said me, now I made it personal, and each one of us has to make it personal. I go on to say, listen to this. This is Proverbs 23:7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, says he to thee. But this his heart is not with thee. So the enemy of this world will tell you, look, eat of the things that I'm giving you. In other words, take in what I'm telling you to do. Just do what I tell you to do. You'll be okay. No, not so. And we know that from our personal experiences. Once we every time we listen to the enemy, what was he telling us to do a couple of years ago? Take the jab. Take the shot. Come on, take the shot. But the Honorable Louis Farrakhan said, no, don't take the jab. Don't take none, because there's some other therapies. There's 14 therapies, 15 therapies that exist on the planet today that you don't need a shot. That's right. Really, all you do is get a shot of sunlight. Just go out in the sun. That's right. That'll help you. Y'all all right? Yes, sir. A little bit more. She says, she asked, do you enjoy worrying? Stop taking affliction as a natural part of God's plan. Think on that. She said, it's God's will. This is the person talking, or one of us talking. It's God's will. I'm just being tried. And she says, no, it's your will, and you just trying yourself. Huh? You all right? Yes, sir. You know how it is? You ever hear that saying, oh, you picked up a rock that nobody asked you to carry? Wow. Come on. I mean, if the shoe fit, I'm not going to look. I'm not going to look. It says some of us feel better when there's a problem, because if it distracts us from our goal. You know how it is when you know you're supposed to be doing something, you start making up excuses. Yeah, well, I was going to do it, but and the list is endless. And some of us are such worrywarts that if we don't see a problem, we make one. So when you are a worrier and you tend to be worrisome and make a nuisance of yourself. Wow. General Order number 9 says, to allow no one to create a nuisance, make a nuisance on or near my post. Yes. Woo, we're going somewhere just real quick. So when you come in a room, you darken the atmosphere rather than brighten it. You almost need an orange cones around you because you are an emotional danger zone. We're never going to get there. We're never going to make it. It's not going to happen. I never get well. I'll never lose weight. I'll never have money. I'll always have this box in my box. And then she goes on to say, you need a big sign that reads negative, self-defeating, incapacitated, and ready to bring you down with me. Keep your distance. Woo! Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing with people like that? If we saw them coming, be like, uh-oh, let me go. Here comes some danger, and get out of the way. Well, they don't have to have signs around them, because we see from our own experiences what that's all about. So I close out with this. Some words from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And he talks about our needing to re-educate ourselves, because studying is where the answer to our problems start. The more we walk around thinking we can get the answer to what we want using our own idea of what it is, when God has come and left one in his stead to show us the way. The only time we get in trouble, I remember the Honorable Louis Farrakhan said that anytime he put his foot down where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad put his foot down in the spiritual sand of life, yes, he had success. He only got in trouble when he stepped outside the footprint of his teacher. So here we are. And he says that at the root of every civilization is a knowledge, inherent in which is an idea that gives energy and direction to that knowledge. But if the idea at the root of that knowledge and civilization is finite, then the word that comes as a result of that knowledge is also finite. It has an end. So if we continue to listen to the world and let them guide us, we're going to have our ultimate end probably before we need to. So we have to continue to hear God's man in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Listen to this, family, and I close with this. He says, happiness comes when a person understands their purpose for existence and they fulfill that purpose. And when one fulfills his or her purpose in life, the soul is satisfied. Go ahead. That soul has unspeakable joy. So I poll us, not looking for an answer. When was the last time you had unspeakable joy? Just let that marinate, let that simmer. But if you want it, continue to hear the life-giving teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as represented by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We are on our way. And remember, self-improvement is the basis for community development. So